All right, everybody, we're going to take a look at this toy today where we're going to replace one of the wheels that is missing. All right, everybody, here's the tire. Let's go ahead and take it apart so we'll see what we have to make. We've got to make the actual tire itself. And then we also have to make the wheel hub with some clips put together. So we're going to go ahead and hit Fusion 360, model the tire up, and I'll also show you how to model the hub, print those out, and we'll install our new rim. All right, we're going to go ahead and make the tire. I've already done this, but I want to show you the steps I took to create it. First, you're going to need to make a cylinder the size of the tire itself. It's completely solid right now. Next, I did a fillet on the outside of the tire, as you see here. We're going to do a sketch, and in this sketch, we've just created the inside of the tire. And we're going to extrude that new sketch to cut out the section for the hub. Another sketch is going to be created for the center. And that sketch is going to allow us to extrude the center section, which is actually going to fit onto the axle of the toy. Next, we're going to do another sketch. And this one, we're creating the holes that the hub will connect into. And we're also going to make a sketch to subtract material from the inside of the tire where it's not needed. And once that's done, we can then create our tool that we're going to use to cut the holes. I created a new body so that we can use the pattern tool and use 3 of them to cut our holes into the tire. I then extrude them so that they're below far enough and we can cut them out. Once that was done, I created another sketch and basically created a bar in between the outer wall of the tire and the inner wall for support. And then I extruded that as a new body. Used the pattern tool to create multiple, just like the original tire had from the toy. Combined it all into one piece, and then I did a chamfer on the inside of the rim to match the original. So it's round on the outside like the tire and chamfered on the inside. Another sketch, this time to create the actual clips that will lock the tire onto the toy. I then rotated that out, creating one. Rotated that around, so I have all 3 that are needed. I should have left more room in this because after I put this test tire on, I was unable to take it off, and that's most likely because this clip comes out too far to release. Created a new sketch, which is on the side of the tire here. And this was so I could subtract the outside of the tire itself so I could start putting tread on. Although I ended up with this little thin layer here and I ended up deleting that. Then I rotated that sketch again to create one piece of tire tread. I then used the fillet tool to round the edges, and then the pattern tool to create the tire tread all the way around. Next, combining took a little while. The key is getting it lined up so everything touches. Created another sketch, this time on the side of the tire. and I subtracted a very, very thin layer. And then I proceeded to make multiple sketches that allowed me the opportunity to make a thin effect on the outside of the tire in patches, as so. And then I rotated those to make the tire tread. Now the test tire had this pattern on it. It wasn't deep enough for the printer to really get a good texture, just a ripple effect. So if I ever went and printed this tire again, I would change this and make the divots in between each piece of tread deeper. Then I combined all the pieces together into one piece and then corrected a mistake underneath where I needed to connect these clips to the actual tire itself. Small issue, but fixed nonetheless. Then I was able to combine them properly, and I was done with the tire itself, and it went to the printer. Okay, let's take a look at the hub. I started out by making a sketch, and this is the sketch I created for the main hub. And it's just an outline of what the hub should look like from the side if you were able to cut it open. I then rotated that around the center to get this, almost like a dish or a coin. I then created another sketch. This time it was for the cutouts. Extruded that to allow me to use it as a tool. Created a pattern to match the tire's hub. Subtracted it. And then created the sketch for the actual clips that lock it into place. Rotated just the one piece that is needed first that's wider than the actual clip that sits on the tire. Rotated that around the whole platform. Moved it to match up to where it needed to be. Created the clip itself. Used the pattern and then rotated it with the movement tool around the center to get it lined up. After that, combined it into one piece and then trimmed the clips to save material on the printer. That's it. Send that to the printer and then we'll combine them together. All right, now that we've made the models in Fusion 360 and I've printed them out, I went ahead and tested the tire before I made the hub in Fusion 360. The tolerances that I made for the center where it actually clips on to the axle section of this toy were too tight to allow me to take it back off. So it's on here, it's stuck. Let me show you that real quick. So we've got our tire with our 3 holes for our hub, and it's got tread on it. So it looks pretty nice. And then we have the hub printed out in white, and then I used an airbrush with a pearlescent silver. And let's go ahead and try and put that on and see what we've got. See if it fits. And it's going in there. And it looks to be in. Yeah, there we go. So now we've got our original wheels and our replacement. Now I know it doesn't have the logo in the center there, but it is just a toy. And I was able to replace the wheel that you can't get anymore, so I'm pretty satisfied with that. Well, I hope you liked what you've seen. Go ahead and put your comments below and hit that subscribe button for me. It's greatly appreciated. Until next time, keep printing.